You are smart. You read books, you listen to podcasts, you understand compound interest, you know what an emergency fund is, and you can explain inflation at a dinner table. So why, despite all of that, does your bank account still look the same as it did 2 years ago? This is not a question about intelligence. And that is exactly what makes it so frustrating, because you keep assuming that if you just learn one more thing, read one more chapter, find one more strategy, something will finally click. But nothing changes. And the reason nothing changes has nothing to do with what you know. It has everything to do with something happening 5 layers below your conscious mind, something most financial content never touches, because honestly, it is not comfortable to talk about. By the end of this video, you are going to understand the actual psychological gap between people who build wealth and people who keep almost building it, and more importantly, you are going to understand why a shift that sounds like only 5% is the difference between those two groups entirely. Here is the thing about smart people and money. When a smart person struggles financially, they almost always diagnose it as an information problem. I just need to figure out the right investment. I need to understand tax strategy better. I need to find the right budget system. They treat wealth like an equation they have not solved yet. And because they are smart, they are very good at searching for new equations. So they stay busy. They stay productive. They stay broke. What they do not realize is that they are not missing information. They are running the wrong operating system. Think about it this way. You can install the best software in the world on a computer with corrupted firmware, and the software will not run properly. It will crash, freeze, and behave in ways that make no logical sense. That is what happens when intelligent people try to apply sound financial strategies on top of an unchecked psychological foundation. The strategy is not the problem. What is underneath it is. So what is underneath it? The first layer is identity. Most people who stay broke, and again, these are often educated, capable, thoughtful people, carry a deeply buried belief that wealth is for someone else. Not because they were told this directly, but because of what they observed growing up, what was modeled for them, what conversations happened at the dinner table, what was said when rich people came up in conversation. The mind absorbs those signals and quietly builds a self-concept around them. And here is what is important to understand. Your brain will always protect your identity over your goals. Always. If your identity says, "I am not someone who has money," your subconscious will sabotage every strategy you try, not out of laziness, but out of loyalty to who it believes you are. The second layer is the relationship between safety and discomfort. Wealth creation requires tolerating a specific kind of psychological discomfort, the discomfort of delayed gratification, of uncertainty, of not knowing if your investment will work, of sitting with an unresolved financial situation without reacting impulsively. Most people have never been trained to sit with that. So the moment discomfort appears, the nervous system signals danger, and you spend the money, you bail on the plan, you find a reason the strategy will not work. It is not weakness. It is your threat detection system doing exactly what it was designed to do, just in the wrong context. The third layer is what psychologists call financial avoidance. And this one is subtle. It does not look like irresponsibility. It looks like being busy. Smart people are particularly vulnerable to this because they are good at staying occupied with things that feel productive. Researching, planning, optimizing their budget spreadsheet for the 4th time, while avoiding the actual uncomfortable financial decisions that would move the needle. Avoidance in intelligent people is camouflaged as preparation. The 4th layer is scarcity thinking, not the absence of money, but the mental posture of scarcity. People raised in financial instability, or people who have experienced significant financial loss, often develop a relationship with money that is fundamentally reactive. Every financial decision gets filtered through fear. And decisions made from fear are almost never wealth-building decisions. They are survival decisions. The problem is that survival mode does not produce growth. It produces maintenance, at best. And the fifth layer, this is the one almost nobody talks about, is the unconscious emotional payoff of staying stuck. There is always a secondary gain hiding inside a chronic problem. For some people, financial struggle provides a reason to avoid taking big risks. If you never have money to invest, you never have to face the fear of losing it. For others, staying broke keeps them connected to their social group. Wealth can feel like betrayal, like becoming someone your original community no longer recognizes. For others, struggle has become a core part of their story, their identity, even their conversation. The question you have to be willing to ask yourself is, what does staying here protect me from? Now, here is the 5% shift. It is not a dramatic overhaul. It is not a personality transplant. It is a small but profound reorientation in how you relate to money decisions moment to moment. Instead of asking, what is the smartest financial move, which keeps you in your head, you start asking, what is the fear underneath this hesitation? Instead of looking for the perfect strategy, you start observing your own patterns. Instead of consuming more information, you start interrupting the automatic responses that keep pulling you back. The 5% is the willingness to turn the lens inward. Just slightly. Just enough to catch yourself in the pattern before you act it out again. Smart people stay broke not because they lack information but because they apply all of their intelligence to everything except their own psychology. The moment that 5% of your attention shifts toward understanding why you do what you do with money, not just what to do with it, everything else starts to compound differently. Not overnight, but steadily, irreversibly. And here is what is interesting. The people who make this shift do not suddenly become financial geniuses. They do not discover a secret investment strategy. They just stop getting in their own way long enough for the strategies they already know to actually work. If this hit differently than what you usually hear about money, stay on this channel. The next video goes even deeper, specifically into how your earliest financial memories are still making decisions for you today, and what you can do about it. I will see you there.